Hi. You must be thinking as a parent where you can find time, enough time to get ready for a reading lesson with your child or any lesson. Because you have to go to work, you have to do housework, you have to do laundry, you have to do many tasks at home as well as your working place. Well, as a teacher, same here. I have to do lots of work at home as well as in my school. Yet, we can easily find time while we are preparing something, maybe for dinner, maybe for lunch, or maybe for your breakfast. So while you're cooking, you can find time to think how I'm going to implement reading among my children, or else what can be the next step, or else what I'm going to do something new, some kind of a new task to implement reading among my children. Well, let's.
In here, you can see how I got ready for an online storytelling lesson. So it's another task as well, same as you are implementing reading at home, doing a story kind of reading. So enjoy my little video clips and get some ideas and tips for you all. Hope it is going to be helpful.
Riding Hood's mother was telling, you have to take the red pie to grandma. So what happened? Red Riding Hood's mommy prepared a nice pie and covered with a red cloth and gave it to the Red Riding Hood. Let's see who's coming next.
All these resources, the things what I needed for the story, I just found from my home. I didn't have a red cloth or a material to cover my head as Red Riding Hood. So I just took a kind of red top and then covered my head. Simple and easy.
I want child to find the objects. Manuela, go. Ali, go. Find some powder. We are going to change ourselves to a grandma. Okay, everyone. Let's see. Okay. All right. So, grandma, what's the color of grandma's hair? What's the color of grandma's hair? Now, don't forget. Change your hair to grandma's hair. Ooh, we are going to
Changing self into grandma wasn't easy. During an online session, it has to be very significant and elegant when you're presenting something to us the children. So I was thinking what to do. Got the idea. Use your powder to change yourself to a grandma. And even kids got very excited to use their own powder tins to change themselves to grandparents. Let's see how it was happening. Story reading and story acting, those are two things. But to get and create the enthusiasm, simply you can implement story acting in front of your children. So they might or they tend to get an idea to read the storybook as well. That was my effort. Giving a proper idea about the characters in the book is a major thing. So I prefer rather you're reading a storybook just with the words, why don't you act the character? It's very simple and easy. Only thing you have to be a little bit of creative.
Walk around. I want to see how you're walking like.
Including creativity and fun, make your children to read more and more.
In the jungle, and suddenly there was a stranger just in front of her. Who that can be? Do you know who is that? Anybody in the class? Who was that? It's a wolf. Oh, the things changed. Let's see what has happened with the wolf.
Changing yourself into characters, to each characters in front of a camera wasn't easy. But I managed it. I was thinking about the characters before I start the lesson. So it was easy for me to get the idea how I can change the characters in a second. It was successful.
Where are you going? The jungle, and who's cutting down the trees? Who is that?
At the end of each action
Who is
or
that?
the acting,
Anybody
my
can give
main
me the
target was
answer?
to implement reading.
Daniel,
Take the first step
Alcrease,
in reading among young
Yusuf,
children, basically or
woodcutter.
especially
That was a
among 3 to
woodcutter.
4-year-old children.
Came close to the house and heard the noise and the voice. What is happening
Oh,
inside the house?
one more thing. Don't
Bang
forget
inside
to
the
ask
house.
questions
So
in
the
between
big
your stories.
wall.
It's
So
kind
what
of
he
like
did,
revisiting
grabbed the wall from
the
the neck,
objective of
started
storytelling
shaking him and
session.
rescued
Basically, you are
the little
revisiting
Red
the
Riding
idea
Hood.
of why you are telling that story.
Okay, children. What
Well,
is the mistake
it's a good
that
point to
Red
lead
Riding
to
Hood did?
take out the
Who
moral
can
of the
tell me?
story.
What she did?
Reading an interesting book is an always amazing task. Children love to read these kinds of books. See what I found. The book is very interesting. They will love to do it. Still, I believe we can try out new methods. Why don't we ask them to color the pictures which is included in a storybook and create the story on a table? I mean flashcards method. So let your child to create their own pictures for the story, and we can stick the storylines as below there and start reading. Kind of interesting, isn't it? So, we are ready for a new reading style. Let's see what we are going to do in the next episode. Stay tuned and thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. The Bird Teacher.